This is Columbus Concerns, a public affairs presentation of North American Broadcasting. Here's your host, Mark News.
Today we're talking with someone who's making a difference for families facing a child's life-threatening illness. Mindy Atwood is here, and she is the co-founder and CEO of Patches of Light. It's a Central Ohio nonprofit that provides financial assistance, comfort items, and hope to families so they can focus on what matters most, their child's care. Now, she's here to share the organization's mission and the challenges that these families face and how our community can help her and their mission. Mindy Atwood, thanks so much for being here today.
Well, thank you very much for having me. I appreciate it.
Patches of Light.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about how you got it started.
Well, my husband and I have 4 children, and back in 1982, one of my twins started showing these weird symptoms, and we took him to the doctor for almost a year, and they kept trying to diagnose it with everything, and in the meantime, I couldn't work. So leading up to the end of that year, we found out he actually had childhood cancer. He had a kidney cancer that's genetic. And then my nephew ended up 6 months later having the same cancer.
Oh, my gosh.
Present itself. So we started with that. And then we went through all of that, the crisis of not being able to work, taking care of children, losing money, being in debt. And we found out that our youngest son ended up having open heart surgery. He was born with a birth defect, but throughout all of that, we learned so much. And at the end, even though we were broke, we always say financially, physically, and mentally, we thought, okay, what about the people that don't have anyone? Yeah. Who helps them? Yeah. So we did a fundraiser, took it to Children's, and realized it wasn't going to actually go to we needed it to go to. We were stopped by a social worker who said, I have a family in desperate need. We gave her the money, and next thing you know, we're an organization. So
that's how it all got started.
It did. And years before that, when my son was going through treatment, people would come in and say, we're praying for you, or they would say, the doctor would say, good news today. And I said it was always like a little patch of light in that darkness. And I thought someday I might use that for a book or something. And then when we had the organization, we're like, you know what? We're a patch of light.
Yeah, most people probably think, well, if somebody has a sick child, insurance is taking care of everything. Mm-hmm. But it certainly doesn't take care of everything. And There are lots of things that people don't even think about. What are some of those?
Oh, my goodness. Gas money back and forth.
Yeah.
When you're staying, some of the kiddos are in there a year.
Yeah.
I mean, if they're having a bone marrow transplant and the parents need to have babysitting and groceries and just and utilities. I mean, my husband was embarrassed at first when I would tell the fact that we had our utilities shut off. We would have bill collectors call screaming. We had one guy ask how I had the nerve to take my child to the hospital if I didn't think I could pay. It was awful. And those are the things, and even with insurance, we still owed over $60,000 with my son's cancer and over $40,000 with my son's open heart surgery. So people will say, oh, they've got insurance. Well, that really means nothing in the long run. Who's feeding my children? And some of them are keeping 2 households going, mm-hmm. a household at the hospital and a household with their children at home. So who helps with that when the mom and dad can't work? And my husband worked 2 jobs. He looked like a werewolf. He was exhausted. His hair was sticking out so that I could be at the hospital with my children. So
wow. Well, it's nothing like a personal crisis to sort of spur a call to action.
Yes,
that you have done for so many other people. Talk a little bit about how people are referred to Patches of Light.
Well, we take our accountability very seriously. So all applications must come from a medical professional. Okay. That could be a social worker, that could be a doctor, a nurse, anyone like that. And we somehow work across the entire United States now, but they have to have a letter of referral from the doctor, and then they send it to me, and then I go over, and we very rarely turn people down. for any type of assistance, but we have to limit how much we can help. And it has to be verified. And only a couple times have people tried to slip one over us, but it's like, well, I need to talk to your doctor. And because it's not just me, it's the people who give us the money depend on us to be accountable to that. So, but yeah, and the hospitals are very understanding. Sometimes they'll send me 10 apps at a time, and I'm like, okay, no, let's just do 1 or 2 to start.
The founder and CEO of Patches of Light, Mindy Atwood, is with us today on the program. Before we go any further, how can people find out more about Patches of Light?
Well, we have a Facebook page, and we also have a website. So if they look under Patches of Light on the web, you'll find it there. And it actually has a video and information how your social worker can get a hold of us and help us with that. And then just hopefully word of mouth like this. This is such a blessing for us to be able to get our word out because we don't pay for advertisement or anything like that.
Mm-hmm. Well, talk a little bit about how it is that you're able to help people financially who are in these situations. Where does the money come from?
Well, we do a lot of grant writing. We have companies that will just come in and say, today was Gene Day, and we took money and gathered it to give to you. Or we'll go out and speak. We have churches that support us. Since we don't pay ourselves, every bit of money that comes in except for rent goes back to the families. And we are just... So, like, I live in Hilliard, and Hilliard has been so supportive. Mm-hmm. They'll say, hey, guess what? There's a grant coming up, so, and then we sell superhero capes. And I also wrote, I'm on my 4th book now, so I wrote books for families that have children and how to explain different situations. And then the royalties I donate back to Patches. So,
well, tell me, I'm glad you mentioned the books because I was going to ask you about those. Tell me about the books. They're children's books, correct?
Yes. Yeah. The first book I wrote was called The Zipper Club, and that was for my son who had open heart surgery. A gentleman came in to visit him when he was in the hospital and said, welcome to the Zipper Club. And he said, usually they're a lot older, but you're welcome, because his scar looked like a zipper.
Oh my gosh.
So I wrote a book about that, teaching children how to be accepting of other children who have scars or anything like that. And then The Boy in the Golden Cape is written for my son who had childhood cancer. And there's a funny story. His best friend in the book is Billy, because in 2nd grade, my son went by Billy the Kid. Mm-hmm. So it's about Jason, and it's also teaching kids, how do you step up and support someone who's going through a hard time, like childhood cancer, how to fundraise, how to accept it and not be afraid of it. And then I have 2 others, but the other one that's out, the other one I'm still working on, is my granddaughter constantly asks me questions. And one was, do bears have belly buttons? And I was like, I don't know. Let's look into it. So that's what it's called. But it teaches kids, don't be afraid to ask a question. Yeah. That's your window to the world. Ask the question, and hopefully you'll find out. And by the way, you'll have to read the book to know if bears do have belly buttons.
Where can people buy your books?
They can get them on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, or if they want to go to the website and request one.
Have you sold a lot of them?
Yes. I just got another royalty check. It wasn't for a lot, but when you only get like 10 cents a book, it was good for us. And the public library has them as well. So.
Oh, that's wonderful. But as you mentioned, all the royalties go to Patches of Light.
Yes.
Which is a really great thing. Talk about how are your kids doing today, by the way?
Oh, they're doing great. They're doing great. Yes, my son, who had childhood cancer, works for a hockey organization, and he's doing fantastic. And my son, who had open heart, is an air traffic controlman in Chicago, so they're doing really good. And then their brothers, I think they feel like they were neglected, but they're doing really good too.
Oh, that's fantastic. And talk a little bit about, we're talking today, by the way, with Mindy Atwood, the CEO and founder of Patches of Light. You can find them online. You said that you've helps people not only here in Central Ohio, but elsewhere around the country. Has this become sort of a national organization?
It has. I think we've been very fortunate to win some really good awards, and that opened us up to people in New Mexico, all over the place. And we expect the same from them, their doctor's notes, all of that. But if we can help, we definitely will. We work a lot with Cincinnati, Dayton. I try to keep it local as much as possible, but it's hard to say no when someone's in need.
Yeah. So talk a little bit about how the referrals work and how you choose the families that you help.
Well, the social workers will always send us the application with the letter of referral from the doctor. And then I read over the entire thing and determine whether or not it really is a critical illness. And then I also would like to know, how did you get to this point? Was it the illness that affected you? Because we have some families, and I know because we had a lot of debt, that come into the situation already in great debt, you know, so we have to look at that as well. And then I pay the bills. I don't send cash to the families. If they have an electric bill, it has to be current. I'll pay it. Food cards, grocery cards, gas cards. I pretty much do all of that. My board's always like, here, let us help you. And I'm like, yeah, but you have to be ready. It's like going into battle because there's always a problem too.
Oh, sure.
So
do you have opportunities for volunteers?
We do. We don't have as many as a lot of organizations just because we don't really interact with the kids or the families. But like we're getting back to our we do like superhero capes for Holly Fest, and then we have what I call a gift of memories at Ronald McDonald House. So people can come and work with the kids and the families. And a lot of times they just want to talk, so it's nice for someone to come in and sit down and say, how's your day going? And then work on documenting the journey for the kids.
Has your demand increased over the years?
Yes.
Yeah.
We get about 100 applications a month now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and if I get behind, I'm in trouble. So, yeah, it's and it's sad. And like I was telling you, we have a lot that are coming in that are not related to what we do, but it also opened my eyes to how much other need there is. So I can see why a lot of nonprofits can't get support because there's so much need and so many people looking for help that it makes it hard.
I imagine you're pretty well known at Children's Hospital when it comes to people knowing who you are and what you do.
Yes, we're getting ready Thursday to drop off 200 book bags. And so they just come out to the front of the hospital. We start loading up what they ask us for. And we do that with like Easter bags, things like that. So, yeah, we're just like, hey, what's up? And it's different now. We used to just walk in the hospital, serve dinner or stock the kitchen. But as they grew and the security needs became more, we don't get to do that as much. And I miss, getting in there and really hands-on. And I stopped volunteering during COVID just because it scared me that I might bring something into the kids. So
sure. Well, for somebody out there and they're hearing this and they'd like to help, they think, this is a worthwhile organization for me to help with my money. How do they go about getting the money to you?
Well, you can go on our website. We have a donation button, and it takes it directly to, I'm never good with this, Stripe or Square or something like that. So we know right away when you donate it, and we can thank you for it. And then also, if you'd like to volunteer, we have a button where you can sign up to volunteer. But or call me. I mean, we have such great contacts where I'll answer the phone and people are like, I'd like to give. I went to a church to speak not long ago, and at the end a woman said, could I speak to you? And I said yes, and she gave me a check for $1,000.
Oh, wow.
And I just thank you, Joy, if you're listening.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you mentioned that because if I have an organization, you'll come out and speak, right?
Oh, definitely. Yes. Yeah.
And tell me a little bit about what your presentation is.
I basically just tell my story, how we got started. And then I talk a little bit about the families, trying to, we've had such a huge increase in helping families with children who've experienced violence. A lot of it's gun violence, and we're really struggling to find support for that. There aren't organizations out there that will come in and say, your child's been shot, can I get you food, or, any of that. I had a mama that was living in a storage unit so she could be close to her son because she couldn't afford a hotel, but he was in intensive care. I just had one, since we're nationwide, hopefully they won't know who I'm talking about, whose little brother accidentally shot him.
Yeah.
So, when you have that many different things coming in, it's kind of convoluted trying to make sure everybody gets covered, and some people don't think we should cover that. They think we should just do one thing, but we do any critical or terminal illness or injury if the family needs it.
Mindy Atwood is here today, the CEO and founder of Patches of Light. You can find them, of course, on the web, and you can find them on Facebook as well. Just search Patches of Light.
Yes.
And it should come right up. Talk about the biggest challenge that you face right now. What do you spend most of your time on?
Most of my time is raising funds and just going through the applications.
Yeah.
It's when you get 15 or 20 in one day and you're looking, and then the mail.
Yeah.
Because we have trying to find ways to get to New Mexico, so always trying to make sure that things are getting to where they need to go, trying to determine who needs help, trying to get a hold of social workers, trying to deal with people who get mad at you because you didn't do what they wanted, things like that. You just have to say, have a nice day, and think, okay, I tried.
Yeah. Well, you've been doing this a long time, and
Yes.
Obviously, when you're dealing with sick children and parents and problems, and this can be emotionally challenging for you as well, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah. And I appreciate you saying that, because I don't think people realize that we're human behind this organization. And I use as an example, my older son passed away in 2020. And during the whole memorial service, I had a family keep trying to get a hold of me because they needed winter coats. And I told them, I said, I'm so sorry, but I've lost my son. And they were like, oh, yeah, we heard about that. Sorry. Can you get us a winter coat?
Oh, geez.
And it takes a lot to think. They're not thinking about me as a human because I have put myself out there. And I think that's hard at times. But then if you can take that empathy and use it to help more, then that's what you have to do. So, but between saying, I am human, I've got a funny story. It's not really funny, but on my birthday, I'm eating birthday cake, trying to get someone's phone turned back on. And I told the lady, I just want to eat a cake. I just want to eat my cake. And then the mom was still on the phone too, and I didn't know. And I'm like, it's okay. Really, it's okay. I'd like to eat my birthday cake.
Yeah. My gosh. So it sounds like that you are personally involved in almost all the cases.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I really am. I feel like it's important. And I know a lot of times people will say, well, why are we paying that? But when you go back and read the history of what happened, maybe this is our 10th admission. Maybe this is our 5th reoccurrence.
Yeah.
You have to look at that too, not just, okay, they need a gas card. So, and we are particular. If we have someone who has had help from 15 organizations, we'll say, we really have people who haven't had any help. So It's not like you just come to us and say, I need help. We do hear that. Help me now.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it sounds like you're protective of the money that people give you.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. That's good to know, because when you give money to somebody, a charity, you want to know that there's an integrity there, and that
Yes.
money's going to someone who really, really needs it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's, when you see even kids, we have a piggy bank club, and we named it that because during Vacation Bible School one year, kids brought their money from their piggy bank in. And I thought, okay, we need to really acknowledge that as well. Those kiddos brought their piggy bank money in, and if I just went out and bought a pack of cigarettes or, where it's like, hey, yeah, that's completely disrespecting them. So we make sure we also say, thank you for your piggy bank money,
Well, okay, I have to ask you this. What is a hug bag?
Oh, a hug bag is a big canvas bag that we started in the very beginning when we couldn't get in to give someone a hug or tell them how much we cared. So we stuff it full of stuffed animals, puzzles, coloring books, crayons. We do a willow tree angel for the parents. We just fill it as full as we can, and then we drop it off to the kids as a hug from Patches of Light.
Wow, that's fantastic. That must get a nice response.
Yes, it does. They're so sweet. I just dropped one off, and they're like, they loved this one, and I'm like, oh, good, thank you, because it's fun to do.
Oh yeah, I'll bet. It's like my friend who used to deliver flowers. He said he made everybody's day happy.
Yes,
Says the best job he's ever had in his whole life. Yeah. Patches of Light is what we're talking about today, and they help the families out with their financial needs if they have a child with serious illness and really a critical illness, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which is good because you know that's what you're there for. Talk a little bit about some of these businesses that help you out, and is it just money, or do they give you goods, or how does that work?
Both. We have a couple organizations. Well, they're businesses that have for 15 years, 16 years. We have one that was like, we only do this once a year, and I think we're on like year 18. But they will become like an annual giver. We have companies that will come in and give us, puzzles and coloring books. We have a woman, she's so sweet. She goes around and she's always bringing stuff in. And I'm like, she's called herself the grandma of Patches of Light because she doesn't have grandchildren, but she'll bring things in. And it's, schools will bring us new books. So it's just I never say no to anything. We may have to pass it on to another organization, but if someone takes the time to donate money or any kind of, item for the hug bags, or we have 2 churches that make handmade quilts for the kids. And then they actually pray over them before they give them to us. Yeah. So I always tell them, you've already been prayed for when you get this in your hug bag. So we've really been blessed. I mean,
are you affiliated with any other organizations, or do you work closely with any other organizations?
Yes, actually, I just, with Families for a Cure, and then Melissa, I'm so sorry I can't remember the exact name of your organization, but we worked with her to do a birthday party for a cancer patient down at the hospital. And that's one nice thing about some of these groups is they'll throw out, hey, we need a mattress. Can anybody help? And, I've had them help me. I've helped them. And it's hard, too, because I try to stress to people, we started this because we did not have another organization to team up with. But if you really want to make a difference, first try to find an organization that's already doing that, because it's time, energy, and money, and a lot of them can't succeed. So try to find someone to team up with, even if it's your organization and you need something, because that's what they're there for. So, yeah, we've been really blessed with some good partnerships.
Who helps you run the organization? Do you have a board of directors, or how does that work?
I do. I have a wonderful board of directors who put up with me. I was actually on time to the board meeting last night, and I saw all of them. One even said, what's wrong with me? She's here on time. So they do. They are very helpful, and they're always there if you need them. So, and they do that out of their heart as well. And some of them have had situations like mine. One, her niece drowned. So they have that empathy that's needed to put the extra work into it. So,
and it sounds like, especially when you're going through the applications, you need not only a sense of empathy, but also some common sense as well, and some practicality when it comes to giving out the money.
Yes, yeah. I've had people send it in for like a broken bone, but they'll put a big word on it. And I'm like, I know that's just a broken bone. And there's been times when, I'm like, okay, this isn't critical, but these people are so in need. And if I have extra, I'll give them a little bit to help out. But, and we also say, please don't call us, because we really can only speak to medical professionals due to HIPAA. So if you call, and it breaks my heart, I can't continue to call you back and try to deal with it, because I could get myself in trouble. So,
yeah. So where do you see the organization headed in the next few years?
Well, it would be beautiful if I didn't have a need anymore. If we would pass some laws and find out. There's so much I have learned along the way. For instance, if a child is getting some type of assistance from the government and then they're in the hospital, their family doesn't get that assistance while they're in there, which is so convoluted because it's like, well, why would a family take their sick child back in knowing that they couldn't feed their family at home?
Yeah.
So that, I think things like that need to change where, yes, your child's in the hospital, but you still, there's a reason you're getting assistance. But in another 27 years, I'll probably be dead, but either still successfully going forward or there's no need for me at all. So,
yeah. Well, 27 years has taught you a lot of lessons, I'm sure.
Oh, my goodness, yes. And it's funny because we call ourselves an accidental organization. We had no intention of being one until it just became one. So
if someone's out there listening right now, and what's the best way they can help the organization?
Financial donations. I know sometimes I feel guilty when I'm like, actually, we just need the money. And then if you would like to donate something, we have a big need for teenage items. A lot of times we get the coloring books, the crayons, but we have a lot of teens.
Sure.
And we don't have a lot of things for them. So if you have anything that you think a teen would like, you know, and it has to be new, so, or books, things like that.
Mm-hmm. Well, one more time, Mindy, please tell us how people can get a hold of the organization if they want to help.
Your best bet would to go to our website, and you can either send me a message at patchesoflight@aol.com. I'm only laughing because people were like, I can't believe you're still using AOL, but it's done me good.
Yeah,
So
there you go.
You can email me, or your best bet really is to go to your social worker or your case manager or your nurse and tell them your situation, and then they'll get a hold of me. So
if the child's in the hospital, look for someone at the hospital who
Yes.
can get them to you.
yes. Yeah, and I'll say, oh, okay, you're in ICU, that's so-and-so. I'll give them a call, you know, because you get to know them. I mean, we work with New York. We work with a lot of them. And the social workers, 99% of the time, are really good. And then they'll bring people to us to donate as well. We have a gentleman in Cincinnati that I've only met him once, but he donates quite a bit every month. And it's amazing because that makes me work harder to make sure everyone can trust me. But just the fact that he was open to donating to families he'll never know with an organization he'll probably never be around, but he wanted to do something to help, and he is. So
That's terrific. Well, our guest on the program today has been Mindy Atwood. She is the founder and CEO of Patches of Light. And thanks so much for coming in and shedding more information about your organization with us.
Well, thank you for having me. It means a great deal. Thank you.
Thanks for listening to Columbus Concerns, a public affairs presentation of North American Broadcasting. You can send questions or comments about today's show to Columbus Concerns in care of this station, 1458 Dublin Road, Columbus 43215. Or email us at columbusconcerns@napcomedia.com.
I'm Tiffany Haddish.
And I'm Marlon Wayans. African Americans are 3 times more likely to be diagnosed with pancreatic cancer than any other racial or ethnic group.
When you or someone you love is facing a pancreatic cancer diagnosis, access to cutting-edge treatment can help make long-term survival possible and improve future patient outcomes.
That's why Stand Up to Cancer and the Lustgarten Foundation have teamed up to bring over 30 pancreatic cancer clinical trials to those who need them.
Learning all you can about pancreatic cancer, including treatment options and what clinical trials are available, can give you or a loved one even more than hope. It can help make long-term survival possible.
For more information about the latest pancreatic cancer research and clinical trials near you, visit pancreaticcancercollective.org.
Food. Our survival relies on it. Yet every day in Central Ohio, nearly 1 million pounds of it enters the landfill. That's a lot of food, natural resources, and money being wasted. The meals on our plates require a lot of energy, water, and land to grow, harvest, and prepare. And we rely on a healthy planet to provide that. When we choose to throw food away, we're choosing to discard all the resources that were invested along the way, not to mention the money that's being tossed out. But together, we can make choices that make a difference in our community and protect our environment. In fact, there are a lot of small changes that we can each make to reduce our waste, like saving our leftovers, properly storing our food, and composting. Learn more about what you can do to reduce your food waste at home, at work, at school, and in your community at SaveMoreThanFood.org, a program of SWACO.
How was your drive to school?
Let me tell you, I had to get my iced coffee first. I just can't seem to put it down. My favorite rapper just announced a tour. My phone was buzzing like crazy. I'm so excited. I had to text all my friends right then to talk about it. Then, someone started calling me and...
Let's try that again.
I turned my phone off right away. I never drive distracted.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.